I want to deposit my money in my bank.
Mrs. Lily Chen's hands trembled as she placed the envelope on the counter. 37 years. That's how long it took to save $48,000 in cash. Every dollar earned from 16-hour days at Golden Dragon Restaurant.
Excuse me, coming through. Here are your dishes. Please be careful, it's very hot.
Every tip carefully folded and hidden in a shoebox under her bed. Every sacrifice made after her husband died, leaving her with nothing but recipes and determination. The bank teller, a young woman with perfect nails and a bored expression, opened the envelope. Her eyes widened. "Ma'am, this is a lot of cash." "I want to deposit," Lily said in her accented English, "into my account." The teller's expression shifted. Suspicion replaced boredom. "I need to get my manager." Lily nodded. She had expected questions. She had brought her business license, her tax returns from the past 3 years, even receipts from the restaurant supply company. Everything was legitimate. Everything was earned. The manager arrived 5 minutes later. Michael Bradford, late 30s, expensive suit, the kind of smile that never reached his eyes. He looked at the money, then at Lily, then back at the money. "Mrs. Chen, is it?" His voice was loud, too loud. Other customers were starting to look. "Yes." "Where did you get this money?" "My restaurant, I save." "You saved $48,000 in cash?" He said it like she had confessed to murder. "That's highly unusual. We have protocols for suspicious deposits." Lily's stomach tightened. "Not suspicious. I work, I save, all legal." "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to prove the source of these funds." He picked up the envelope, holding it between 2 fingers as if it were contaminated. "Do you understand what money laundering is?" The words hit her like a slap. Around them, the bank had gone quiet. A young mother holding a baby, an elderly black man waiting for a teller, a businessman in a corner reading documents, all of them watching. "I am not criminal," Lily said, her voice shaking. "I bring papers." "These could be falsified," Bradford cut her off. "We take financial crimes very seriously. I'm going to have to ask you to step aside while I call our fraud department." "Fraud?" Lily felt heat rising in her face. Shame, anger, helplessness. "I own Golden Dragon Restaurant for 22 years. I pay taxes. I follow law." Anyone can say that. Bradford's smile had disappeared entirely. "For all I know, you're a front for organized crime. Chinatown restaurants are notorious for—" "I am not front," Lily's voice cracked. "I am honest woman." "Then you won't mind waiting while we investigate." He turned to the security guard standing by the door. "Robert, please escort Mrs. Chen to the waiting area. She's not to leave until we've verified." "That won't be necessary." The voice came from the corner, low, calm, absolutely commanding. Every person in the bank turned. The man had been sitting there the entire time, so still that Lily hadn't noticed him. Now he was standing, and the room seemed to shrink around him. 6'2", broad shoulders in a charcoal suit that probably cost more than Lily's monthly rent. Dark hair graying at the temples. A face that looked like it had been carved from marble. Strong jaw, Roman nose, eyes so dark they were almost black. But it was the way he moved that made Lily's breath catch. Deliberate, unhurried, like a predator who knew the prey couldn't escape. He crossed the bank floor. His shoes made no sound on the marble. 2 other men who had been sitting near him stood as well. Bodyguards, Lily realized. They didn't follow him, just positioned themselves by the exits. Bradford's face had gone pale. "Mr. Corleone," he stammered, "I didn't know you were—" "Clearly." The man, Corleone, stopped directly between Bradford and Lily, his back to her, a wall of protection. "Repeat what you just said." "Sir, I was simply following protocol." "You accused her of money laundering. You implied she was involved in organized crime. You were about to have her detained." Corleone's voice never rose, but somehow it filled the entire space. "Based on what evidence?" "The amount of cash is suspicious." "Suspicious." Corleone tilted his head slightly. "A 70-year-old woman who owns a restaurant for 2 decades brings in her life savings, and you find that suspicious." "We have regulations." "Do you know who I am, Michael?" Bradford swallowed hard. "Yes, sir." "Then you know I don't tolerate disrespect." Corleone paused. "Especially not toward elders, especially not in public, and especially not in a bank that I have significant investment in." The silence was deafening. Lily's heart was pounding. She didn't know who this man was, but she understood power when she saw it. And this man had the kind of power that made bank managers look like children. I apologize, Mr. Corleone, but I was just... You were humiliating her." Corleone turned slightly, glancing at Lily for the first time. His eyes softened just for a moment. Then he looked back at Bradford. "How long have you worked here?" 8 years, sir." "Not anymore." Bradford's face went from pale to gray. "Mr. Corleone, please." "You're fired, effective immediately." Corleone made a slight gesture. One of his bodyguards approached, pulling out a phone. "Marco will handle the paperwork. You have 10 minutes to collect your things." "But I have a family." "Then you should have thought about that before you accused a respected business owner of being a criminal." Corleone's voice dropped even lower. "In front of witnesses, without evidence, because she's an elderly Asian woman who doesn't speak perfect English." Bradford opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. 10 minutes, Corleone repeated. "Or I'll make it 5. Bradford practically ran to his office. Corleone turned to face Lily fully. Up close, he was even more intimidating. But his eyes, there was something in his eyes. Sadness, maybe, or recognition. "Mrs. Chen," he said gently, "I apologize for what you just experienced. That was unacceptable." Lily didn't know what to say. Her English felt inadequate. Her whole body was shaking. "Let me help you with your deposit," Corleone continued. He picked up her envelope with careful respect. "Every dollar will go exactly where you want it, and no one," his voice hardened, "will ever question you in this bank again." He extended his hand. Lily stared at it. She didn't know who Vincent Corleone was, but she was about to find out. Lily Chen had lived in New York for 43 years. She had survived poverty, racism, her husband's death, and the slow suffocation of trying to keep a business alive in a city that ate the weak. She knew danger when she saw it. And Vincent Corleone was dangerous. But right now, he was the only person in this bank treating her like a human being. She took his hand. His grip was firm, warm, respectful. He released it immediately, no lingering, no discomfort. "Come," he said simply, gesturing toward the teller window. The young teller who had started this nightmare was frozen behind the counter, her perfect nails now digging into the desk. Corleone approached with that same unhurried walk, and she visibly flinched. "What's your name?" he asked. Jessica, sir." "Jessica." He placed Lily's envelope on the counter. "Mrs. Chen would like to deposit this money into her account. Can you handle that, or do I need to find someone competent?" "I can do it, sir, absolutely. Right away." Jessica's hands shook as she processed the deposit. She didn't ask a single question, didn't verify anything, just counted the bills with trembling fingers, typed frantically on her computer, and printed out a receipt. "There you go, Mrs. Chen," she whispered. "All deposited. Is there anything else you need?" Lily took the receipt, staring at the numbers. $48,000. Her life's work, now safe in an account that would help her buy the building where Golden Dragon stood. The landlord wanted to sell, and she had 1 month to match his price, or lose everything. "Thank you," Lily said quietly. "Mrs. Chen," Corleone's voice pulled her attention. "Do you have a moment? I'd like to speak with you, privately." Every instinct screamed at her to decline, to take her receipt and leave before she got pulled into whatever world this man inhabited. But he had protected her, and in Lily's culture that meant something. "Okay," she said. Corleone led her to a private office on the second floor, the bank president's office, Lily realized, seeing the nameplate on the door. He opened it without knocking, and the woman inside immediately stood up. "Mr. Corleone, I wasn't expecting. We need the room, Patricia." Patricia grabbed her purse and fled. Corleone gestured for Lily to sit in one of the leather chairs. He didn't sit behind the desk like a boss would. Instead, he took the chair beside hers, angling it so they were at eye level. "I apologize again for what happened," he began. "Bradford was an idiot, and he's been looking for an excuse to fire him for months. You just gave me one." "You own bank?" Lily asked. "I'm a silent investor, 30% stake." He paused. "The bank president doesn't make personnel decisions without my approval." Bradford didn't know that. Lily nodded slowly. Silent investor. That was code for something, she suspected. In Chinatown, everyone knew about men like this. Men who owned things without their names on the paperwork. Men who could fire someone with a phone call. "Why you help me?" she asked directly. "You don't know me." Something shifted in Corleone's expression. Pain, quick and sharp, then carefully hidden. "I have my reasons," he said. "But the simple answer is, what he did was wrong. And I don't tolerate that kind of disrespect." "You are," Lily searched for the word, "important man, powerful man. Why you care about old woman?" "Because important, powerful men should care about old women." His voice was firm. "And because," he stopped, seemed to weigh his words, "someone I loved very much taught me that how you treat elders says everything about your character." There it was, that flash of pain again. Lily's instincts as a mother, dormant since her son had died in a car accident 20 years ago, suddenly activated. This man was grieving. Still grieving. "You lose someone," she said softly, not a question. Corleone looked at her, surprised. Then something in his armor cracked just slightly. "My wife," he said. 5 years ago. Cancer." "I am sorry." "So am I." He glanced down at his left hand where a gold wedding band still circled his finger. "She was Chinese American, second generation. Her grandmother was from Guangzhou." Lily's breath caught. "My family is from Guangzhou." "I know." He smiled faintly. "I could tell from your accent. May, my wife, her grandmother had the same accent. She used to make Dan Tat, those egg custard tarts, and they tasted exactly like heaven." Lily felt tears prickling her eyes. She made Dan Tat at Golden Dragon. Every day. "What was her name?" Lily asked. "Your wife." "May Lin Corleone." He said it like a prayer. "She was a social worker, spent her life helping people nobody else cared about. Immigrants, refugees, trafficking victims." He paused. "She would have liked you, Mrs. Chen. I think I would like her too." They sat in silence for a moment. Two people who had loved and lost, recognizing that specific pain in each other. "Mrs. Chen," Corleone said finally, "can I ask what you needed the money for?" Lily hesitated, then decided this man had earned honesty. "My restaurant, Golden Dragon in Chinatown. I rent the building for 22 years. Now landlord want to sell. He give me first option to buy, but I have only 1 month. The deposit I bring today, it is not enough. I need $75,000 total, but I have only $48,000. What happens if you can't buy it? He sell to developer. They tear down, build luxury apartments. My restaurant, her voice broke. My restaurant will be gone. Corleone leaned back, his expression thoughtful. What if I loaned you the difference? He asked. 27,000. No interest. Pay me back when you can. Lily shook her head immediately. No, I cannot accept. It's too much. It's not charity, it's a business loan. I do not know you. Why you do this? Because May would have done it. He met her eyes. And because some things are worth protecting, Mrs. Chen. Like a restaurant that's been serving a community for over 2 decades. Lily's throat tightened. She wanted to say yes. Desperately. But accepting help from powerful men always came with a price. What you want in return? She asked carefully. Corleone smiled. It was a sad smile, but genuine. Dinner, he said, at your restaurant. And maybe, if they're as good as I remember, some dentat. Before Lily could respond, Corleone's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and his expression darkened. Mrs. Chen, where exactly is your restaurant located? Mott Street, between Canal and Bayard. His jaw tightened. The Red Serpent territory. Lily's blood went cold. You know about them. Everyone knows about them. He stood abruptly. How long have they been extorting you? She didn't answer. Couldn't answer. That was answer enough. Vincent Corleone's Mercedes S-Class was the nicest car that had ever parked in front of Golden Dragon restaurant. Lily sat in the passenger seat, her hands folded in her lap, still not quite believing the last hour had happened. Vincent drove himself, no driver, though Marco the bodyguard followed in a black SUV behind them. You don't have to do this, Lily said for the 3rd time. I will handle the gang myself. How? Vincent's voice was calm, but she heard the steel underneath. By paying them protection money you can't afford, by hoping they don't decide to burn your restaurant down when you miss a payment? Lily said nothing. Because he was right. The Red Serpents had started 3 months ago. First, it was just Tommy Zhao, the young gang lieutenant, coming in for free meals. Then it was requests for donations to community safety. Then it was threats. Last week, they had spray-painted symbols on her window. A warning. Vincent pulled up to the curb and stared at the restaurant. Golden Dragon was small, wedged between a produce market and a locksmith. The sign was hand-painted, faded by 22 years of sun and rain. The window, Lily's stomach twisted, still had traces of red spray paint she hadn't been able to fully scrub off. When did they do that? Vincent asked quietly. 5 days ago. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. And you've been cleaning it yourself. I cannot afford professional cleaning. Vincent turned off the engine. Show me your restaurant, Mrs. Chen. Inside Golden Dragon was exactly what it looked like. A family restaurant that had survived through love, not money. 12 tables with mismatched chairs, walls covered in faded photographs of Guangzhou, lucky red banners, and newspaper clippings from when a food critic had called her dumplings transcendent. The kitchen was visible through a window, old equipment, meticulously clean. It smelled like ginger, garlic, and star anise. Vincent stopped just inside the door. His eyes closed. His chest rose and fell. Vincent? Lily asked, concerned. When he opened his eyes, they were bright with unshed tears. This smell, he whispered. May and I came to a restaurant like this on our first date. Different place, different owner, but he breathed in deeply. This exact smell. Lily's heart ached. You want to sit? I make you tea. Please. She guided him to a table by the window, the best table with afternoon light streaming through. Then she went to the kitchen and prepared oolong tea the proper way, the way her grandmother had taught her. While the water heated, she pulled out a bamboo steamer and began preparing food. Vincent didn't speak. He just sat, looking around the restaurant like he was memorizing it, or remembering something. Marco stood by the door, silent and watchful. 15 minutes later, Lily brought out a tray, steaming dumplings, scallion pancakes, and a plate of dan-tat, egg custard tarts with perfectly golden crusts. Vincent stared at the tarts. May's grandmother made these every Sunday, he said hoarsely. I haven't had them since... He couldn't finish. Eat, Lily said gently. Food is for living people. Your wife would want you to eat. Vincent picked up a tart, bit into it, closed his eyes. A single tear ran down his cheek. It tastes exactly like hers, he whispered. Lily sat across from him, pouring tea into 2 cups. They sat in silence while he ate, and she understood that this was grief made visible. This powerful, dangerous man crying over a pastry because it reminded him of love. When he finished, he wiped his face unselfconsciously. Thank you, he said. I needed that more than you know. You are welcome in my restaurant anytime, Lily said. Free. Always free. Absolutely not, Vincent's business voice returned. You're barely surviving as it is. I'll pay, and I'll pay well. He paused. Mrs. Chen, how much are the Red Serpents demanding? 2,000 every month. Vincent's expression went cold. 24,000 a year. That's why you can't afford to buy your building. Lily looked down at her tea. I have tried everything. I went to police. They say they cannot help without proof. I went to community association. They say everyone pays. It is the way things are. I went to other business owners. They are too afraid to speak. You went to everyone except someone who could actually help. I do not know people like you. You do now. Vincent pulled out his phone. How long until they come for this month's payment? 3 days, Friday night, after closing. Good. He typed something, then set down the phone. Mrs. Chen, I'm going to ask you something, and I need complete honesty. Can you give me that? Yes. Do you know what I do? Really do. Lily met his eyes. I think you are businessman. Special kind of businessman. The kind who solves problems that police cannot solve. A faint smile touched his lips. That's a diplomatic way to put it. My husband used to say the world has 2 kinds of powerful men. Men who take from the weak, and men who protect the weak. You protect. Your husband was a wise man. He was foolish man who died too young in construction accident. Lily's voice hardened. But he was right about powerful men. I can tell the difference. Vincent leaned forward. If I handle the Red Serpents, and I will handle them, there will be consequences. They'll know you're under my protection. That means my enemies might become interested in you. Your restaurant will be associated with my name. That's not a small thing. And if you do not help, then they'll bleed you dry and you'll lose everything anyway. Lily thought about this for exactly 3 seconds. My whole life I fight alone, she said. After my husband died, after my son died, I have no one, just me and my restaurant. If you protect my restaurant, then I accept the consequences. I am old woman. I am not afraid of gangsters. You should be, maybe. But I am more afraid of losing the last thing I have left of my family. She reached across the table and placed her weathered hand over his. You lost your wife. You understand. This restaurant, it is all I have of my husband's memory. He helped me build it. His hands painted that sign outside. His voice is in every recipe I make. If I lose Golden Dragon, I lose him all over again." Vincent's jaw worked. Then he turned his hand over and squeezed hers gently. "You won't lose it," he said. "I promise you." "Why you care so much?" "Really?" He was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was raw. "Because May spent her whole life protecting people like you, and I failed to protect her. I couldn't save her from the cancer. I couldn't—" He stopped, composed himself. "But I can protect you, and maybe that's how I honor her memory." Lily felt tears spilling down her cheeks. "She would be proud of you." "I hope so." The moment was broken by Marco clearing his throat. "Boss," he said quietly, "we've got company." Vincent and Lily both turned to the window. 3 young men were standing outside, black jackets, red bandanas, Tommy Zhao in front, flanked by 2 others. The Red Serpents had arrived early, and they were staring directly at Vincent's Mercedes with expressions that promised violence. Vincent Corleone didn't move. He sat at the table, calmly finishing his tea, while 3 Red Serpent gang members stared through the window at his car. "Mrs. Chen," he said quietly, "go to the kitchen. This is my restaurant. Go to the kitchen." His voice was steel wrapped in silk. "Please." Lily hesitated, then obeyed. But she stood just inside the kitchen doorway, watching through the service window. Marco moved to intercept the gang members as they pushed through the door, but Vincent raised one finger. Marco stopped. Tommy Zhao swaggered in first. 23, dragon tattoo crawling up his neck, swagger that came from never being told no. His eyes locked on Vincent. "Nice car outside," Tommy said. "You lost?" "No." Vincent took another sip of tea. "You are?" Tommy's smile faltered. His 2 companions, muscle-bound, mean-looking, flanked him. "Old lady," Tommy called toward the kitchen, not taking his eyes off Vincent. "You bringing in customers now?" "That's good. Means you can afford this month's payment early." "She's not paying you anything," Vincent said. Tommy laughed. "And who the fuck are you?" Vincent stood. The movement was unhurried, but something about it made Tommy take an involuntary step back. "Vincent Corleone." The color drained from Tommy's face. His companions shifted nervously. "Oh shit," one of them whispered. "That's—" "I know who he is," Tommy snapped, but his voice had lost its confidence. "Mr. Corleone, I apologize. We didn't know Mrs. Chen had connections." "She does now." Vincent buttoned his suit jacket. "And you're going to explain to me why you've been extorting a 70-year-old woman for 3 months. It's just business. It's theft. Everyone on this block pays." Tommy tried to recover. "It's protection. We keep the neighborhood safe." "From what?" "From trouble." Vincent smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. "Define trouble." Tommy's jaw worked. He was realizing the trap. If he said they protected businesses from other gangs, he'd admit the Red Serpents weren't the only threat. If he said they protected from random crime, he'd be admitting the police could do that job. "That's what I thought," Vincent said. "You provide no service. You simply terrorize people who can't fight back. Look, Mr. Corleone, with all respect, you don't have my respect. You'll never have my respect." Vincent's voice dropped to something lethal. "But you will have my attention if you ever come near this restaurant again." Tommy's face flushed red, pride warring with fear. "My boss won't like this. Chen Long runs this territory. He's not going to just—" "Call him." "What?" "Call Chen Long. Right now. Tell him Vincent Corleone wants to speak with him." Tommy pulled out his phone with shaking hands. The call lasted 30 seconds. Tommy's face went from red to white to gray. He's coming. 10 minutes. Good. Vincent sat back down. Mrs. Chen, could I trouble you for more tea? Lily brought out a fresh pot, her hands steady despite her racing heart. Vincent poured tea for himself like he was sitting in his own home, not waiting for a gang leader to arrive. The 10 minutes felt like hours. When Chen Long entered, he came alone. 50 years old, expensive suit, hair slicked back, scar running from his left eye to his jaw. He'd built the Red Serpents from nothing, controlled 8 blocks of Chinatown, and answered to no one. Until today. Mr. Corleone, Chen Long bowed slightly. This is unexpected. Sit. Chen Long sat. Tommy and his boys melted toward the door. Mrs. Chen's restaurant is under my protection now, Vincent said simply. That means no more payments, no more intimidation, no more spray paint. Chen Long's expression was unreadable. With respect, I've operated in this territory for 15 years. I can't just... Vincent pulled out his phone and made a call. Uncle Tao, yes, it's Vincent. I need you to explain something to Chen Long. He handed the phone to the gang leader. Lily watched Chen Long's face transform as he listened. Confusion, shock, fear. He handed the phone back with trembling hands. I didn't know you had connections to the Tao family, he whispered. I don't advertise my relationships. Vincent pocketed the phone. But now you know, this restaurant and Mrs. Chen are off limits, permanently. Yes, sir, absolutely. Chen Long stood, bowed deeply to Vincent, then turned to Lily. Mrs. Chen, I apologize for any distress my organization caused. It won't happen again. He left quickly, dragging Tommy and the others with him. The restaurant was silent. Lily emerged from the kitchen, legs weak. What? What did you do? Made a phone call. Vincent stood. The Tao family controls most of the traditional organized crime in Chinatown. Chen Long answers to them. I've done business with Uncle Tao for 20 years. He owed me a favor. You used favor for me? I didn't use it. I invested it. He smiled. Mrs. Chen, about that loan. $27,000, no interest. Are you accepting? Lily's eyes filled with tears. Yes, thank you. You'll have the money tomorrow. He placed a business card on the table. And this number reaches me directly, day or night. If anyone threatens you, call me immediately. Vincent, may I call you Vincent? Please. You are good man. He shook his head. I'm not a good man, Mrs. Chen, but I try to do good things when I can. He glanced around the restaurant one more time. May would have loved this place. Then you come back every week. I cook for you. I'd like that. He moved toward the door, then paused. Mrs. Chen, in my world, we have a saying. Family isn't just blood. It's who shows up when everyone else walks away. Yes, Lily whispered. That is true. Welcome to the family. He left. Lily stood alone in her restaurant, the restaurant she would now own, and cried. But they were tears of gratitude. Some debts aren't paid with money. They're paid with loyalty. And Vincent Corleone always paid his debts.